Look at my legs, these legs. The legs have had a few evolutions since you saw them last, so let's talk about what's happened there. I created feet on the legs just by doing this V with a hole drilled at the top of the V. When you put a seat on a bench like this, a good height for the seat is 18 to 20 inches. So I plan on putting the seat at 18 inches, that's this line right here. When you have an armrest on something, it's nice for that armrest to be about 10 inches above the seat. So from here to here, top of the seat to bottom of this armrest is about 10 inches. That information is what led to this curve. The top of the curve here is got enough material left that it's going to support the back, and then it S curves down to my armrest. I did that work with a jigsaw. So once I had it laid out, I grabbed a jigsaw, handheld, and just followed that curve, keeping in mind that it's okay to be a little bit outside the line, because we're going to come back and do another step now. The step we're going to do now is with the Turbo Scaper. This is a cool device. What it's got is carbide cutters, and in this case, the cutters are negative rake. The benefit from that to what we're going to do next is that this is all end grain. So the negative rake scrapers are going to do a really nice job of taking care of this end grain. What I want to do here is clean this up. I want to make it look better. And I also, as an armrest, as an edge in general, I don't want it to be the stark corner. What I want is to ease that. I want to round that over a little bit so that it looks better and it's going to also feel better tactily when you're sitting in the bench. And I'm going to do all that by working with the Turbo Scaper. Wood grain being wood grain, the best way to do this is from this side, I'm working down in this direction. Next thing I'll do is flip this over, do the same thing from the other side, so that we're always working in grain. We'd say we're working downhill this way, and that's going to give us our best possible surface finish here. So I'm going to flip, do some work on the other side, and then we'll come back and have another look at our legs. Once you have it shaped with the Turbo Scaper, then we can go back to the sanding disc, as we have done numerous times before, and clean up as much as you want. I like kind of a rustic look to this, so I'm going to clean it up with sandpaper a little bit, but I also want to leave some of these facets. I love how that looks. So it gives it kind of a hand-carved look. I'm going to do a little bit more on this and go from there. Not bad. I'll flip that over and work from the other side, but net, we're gonna end up with a couple of legs with their top edges looking like this. It's gonna be pretty cool. This whole project has been a bunch of fun, but this next step I think is gonna be really fun to do. Where I'm going next is to carve a scene into the back of the bench. Before I do that and get going on it, let me catch you up with a couple things that have happened. When you look at the end grain here of the seat, you can see these big holes in it. When you look at the ends that are behind me, they've got big holes in them. So that's all about the joinery that's going to hold this thing together. Here's how I went after the joinery. I dry fit the entire bench, the seat, the back, put it in clamps so it was secure, and I knew it was exactly how I wanted it to be positioned. Then I put a 1-inch brad point bit and a drill and I drilled holes through the ends and into the end grain of the back and into the end grain of the seat. In the end, when I put this whole thing together, I'm going to use hardwood dowels in those holes, and that's going to provide the joinery that holds the whole bench together. So a couple things I like about this. One is contrast in color. I'm going to use walnut and cherry dowels. That's going to look great against the pine. Two, they're 1-inch hardwood dowels. This is going to be very robust. It's really going to do a nice job of joinery. Now, here's where we are. I'm going to carve this scene that I've got laid out, and we've got stuff going on here. There are evergreen trees, there's a river, there are mountains, and that's the sun or the moon setting or rising. That can be subject to your interpretation. I'm going to do this work with Arbortech's precision carving system. So that's this. These heads are interchangeable into this arbor. So as I use different stuff, I'll end up just unscrewing the cutter, put in another cutter, move on from there. When I have bigger spots to sweep out, I'm going to use the ball gouge for that. This is going to be a cool process, creative process. It's going to be fun to try to eliminate everything that does not look like mountains, moon or sun, and pine trees and rivers. So I think it's time to just plain get started on this and start taking away wood. I'm very happy with how this came out, and honestly, in the absence of Arbortech's carving devices, I couldn't have done this. So I love that it made it accessible for me, and I love the way it made it come out. It's got a cool kind of a hand-carved vibe to it without me having to do the hand carving. And my mountain, tree, river, sun scene, I love how it looks. I am so happy with how this bench came out. I honestly can't say enough about it. People that have been in my shop and seen it absolutely love it. I'm thrilled that I took the time to put that swale in the seat using the spheroplane, because now there's a nice spot for your butt when you sit in it. It makes it very comfortable. The little bit of angle that's on the back of it also makes it very comfortable. Great project, very fun to do this using the Arbortech system. I would do this again in a heartbeat.